MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. Monday morning once again.
It is.
So on days that rain, do you find it to be more busier in the haircutting business or less because people don't want to get the hair wet? How does that work?
Women don't care. They just get an umbrella and go.
I was just curious.
I mean, it doesn't really, unless it's severe, like tornadic weather. And sometimes even in that case, they come in anyway.
And is this still popular? Remember as kids, those little clear things that wrapped around people's heads for their hair?
A rain bonnet.
Yeah, the little ladies in the church when I was little used to wear those.
My grandmother had one of those.
Is that still a thing?
I mean, occasionally you might see someone with that, but normally, no. I mean, we don't see that a whole lot.
Because I have yet to see you wear one in here, is why I asked that.
Yeah, I don't have a rain bonnet, Scotty Ray. I don't have one. I have an umbrella that I can't keep up with ever.
I guess it's like Little House on the Prairie where, the little bonnets that was there. That's a thing of the past.
Yeah. Speaking of umbrellas, I forgot mine at home, so that's a great thing.
80% chance of that wet stuff today, by the way, if you're just getting up and realizing what's going on today. Let's go to radar. Take a look at this just to show you. Again, 80% chance of rain today as we look at this. Now, most of the weather is still out to our northwest up here. This is going to be the area that is of concern where it could be some severe weather right around Vicksburg. As we zoom in this morning, I saw a speck of a shower a while ago. Yeah, it's not even picking that up now.
Yeah.
But, south of Hickory, Mississippi, y'all got a little bitty shower right there. But nothing yet. We're looking for this anytime today, 70 to 80% chance. Afternoon chance of, there's one right there, east of Marion that's now popping up on radar. But nothing serious at this time. But you will get wet before it's all said and done. Should severe weather break out, we'll jump in here and get on it and let you know all about what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get really, really, really bad. I got to do a lot of running today. I got to find white baseball pants.
Why?
We have a tournament. It's a little all-star tournament this weekend. And I had bought pants, and I didn't try them on them because I just assumed they would fit. And they don't. So now I'm in a mad rush trying to find some.
Baseball breeches.
Yeah, they have to be used to, they had the elastic in the bottom, and they still make those, but they don't want that kind. You got to have a different kind. So anyway.
Who's going to inspect your kids' breeches?
Well, they got to all look alike. So, Anyway.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing today.
I missed out on all of that. Let's see, a couple of things that are going on locally that I wanted to bring up this morning. The state games of Mississippi fired off on Friday night, downtown Meridian. And here's the scene from this. This is Todd Tillman taking the stage, winner of The Voice. Look at the huge crowd they had.
It is a big crowd, goodness.
Yeah, and all for the distance, the 3-foot building that I think is going to be open this year after the big renovations.
Yeah.
But that's a huge crowd for the state games.
It is.
A lot of people are in town, so hotel rooms are going to be filled up probably for the next 2 weeks to where you could hardly get one if you're passing and got family coming into town.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're able to do that. I mean, everybody's been closed in their homes for so long, not able to do hardly anything. Now everybody's really getting out and going and doing, and I'm just so glad.
Because I'm right that the Mississippi State games were kind of put on hold last year, were they not?
I'm sure they were, because everything was put on hold. We didn't even get to play ball, a normal little rec league or anything. So
last year's kind of like a blur to me on a lot of things that went on, because you were just trying to figure out why.
What's going? You never really knew what the next move was going to be.
And I'm not real sure that we know now, are we?
Yeah, we really don't. And I'm still aggravated about the situation with my son over there at the air base in Texas.
And what she's referring to is to be able to see her son graduate from the military, she would have to get a vaccine, and Candace is not ready to do that.
Well, and it's not just that. Like, normally they let the trainees go off with their parents off base to go eat or go see the town and go do things.
But it all revolves around the shot, not having it if you don't.
Right. Now, they're not requiring military to have it. In Texas, I called the governor's office in Texas. They are fully open in Texas. They told me that. They're fully open. There's no mandate that's requiring anyone to get the vaccine. It's left up to the individual. Military's not requiring anybody to get the vaccine, but they're urging them, to get it, but they're not requiring it. But yet the trainees who are over there at basic training cannot leave the base with their families unless they've been fully vaccinated.
As we can see, this is
Right. But when they graduate, they're able to leave.
that makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's just kind of like pushing you into a corner, making you decide.
They want you to get the shots. What they're
Oh, they
after.
want you to. But, USA Today the other day, we'll report on this tomorrow. We'll have the article up. But there's evidence that it's causing heart issues in teens and young adults. So
Not everybody wants it. And it's your right as
Right.
American to decide if you want
Right.
something. There's a lot of
exactly
things that are kind of pushed on people that
Yes.
I don't feel should be.
yeah.
It is Monday. We
is.
kind of shake off the weekend and back to work. Did y'all do a lot of heavy, stressful things this weekend?
I did. Well, I kept my grandbaby all weekend because my daughter and her husband went to a lake in Alabama, and
Yeah.
so we kept my little grandson, and that was fun. I mean, I'm tired. It'll wear you down, but he's a good baby, and I was glad to be able to keep him, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm tired.
Oh, that does happen. I didn't get grass cut because the rain come. Just there wasn't enough time this weekend to get everything done.
I know. And look, if you want to lose weight, just keep your grandbaby off. You don't have time to eat. I figured that out. Like I was
You
like,
run.
Saturday evening, I was like, I haven't had a meal all day. Like really, I mean, I've just not stopped. So maybe that's the ticket. Maybe I need to babysit all the time.
It'll make you run for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple of things that are going on this week. Kicking off this morning at Northcrest Baptist Church. If you'd like to attend, your kids' Vacation Bible School gets underway. And if you'd like to know more, drop by the church, give them a call, visit them online. And if your church has a Vacation Bible School starting, let us know. We'd like to be able to share that. Also wanted to bring this back up because there are kids that need meals every day. And let's see if I can make that go forward there. It's not wanting to cooperate with me. For whatever reason, we want to mention that over at Northeast, they're also going to be serving the meals today.
Right.
If you like breakfast or any of that, they're going to take care of that. That is just not cooperating with me. I'll have to get back to that. I don't know why it won't work.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that's going on this morning.
Let's see. You want to go to the comments?
Yeah. Let's back up here and talk to a few folks there.
Good morning to Galen Bradshaw and Orena Bonner. I want to say good morning to you. And let's see, Miss Donna Roseman's watching this morning.
Also, Miss Gail Gafford, hello, how are you today? Along Miss Joyce Godwin watching. Blessings to all, Denise Covington said.
Good morning to Miss Donna Sue Peebles and let's see, Armadillo. He's a Twitch watcher. He says he's checking in from Western Pennsylvania.
Good morning there. Let's see, Hilton and Denise Davis watching as well. Thank you. Thana Stovall. Thana, good morning to you.
Let's see, Milton Sable, good morning. And let's see, Chad Acton says good morning from Ward 5. He and Sherry, his wife, they're celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. We want to say happy anniversary.
Congratulations to you. Miss Ann Cook watching this morning. Also, Tommy Miller watching today with good morning there.
Let's see, Brandy Priester, good morning to you. And Amanda Heiser, good morning. Jessie Faye Pace is also saying good morning.
All right. Elmer Talmert watching as well today. So glad to have you in with us today. That's real nice of you. Let's see if I can close that and open that back up in a minute. Maybe that'll go to work in here in a minute. You know how things happen when it's live and it don't cooperate sometimes. Yeah, that's still not wanting to work for me. It'll work out in the long run.
Yes. We had a watcher. Let's see. It's a Twitch watcher. It says Colossus NZ. I don't know. He says, what is this? This is the Scotty Ray and Candace morning show. We're out of Meridian, Mississippi. We come on every morning live, and you can interact with us on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube.
Right.
And also, we're located, we're located in Meridian, but we're on the channel 24 MeTV in Meridian, WMDN. We have watchers who can interact with us on Facebook while they're watching on TV. Also, go to YouTube, you can interact with us.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm still, me and this thing over here does not want to work right. And there's absolutely nothing I can do about that as we go to that. We'll get back to that in a little bit. Let's see here. Other things that happened this weekend. As we mentioned, downtown Meridian, we had a lot of activity going on with state games. There's a lot of people in town. Be careful of that.
Yes.
Let's see here. I wanted to, this was interesting. I found this. The Mississippi Delta, WAPT out of Jackson, posted this on their site here. A black bear has been spotted on a trail camera
And see, we always wondered, do we have bears here?
Well, look at that
This
thing.
is evidence. Yes, we do.
That thing is humongous.
It is a big bear. You know, I was telling a while back to someone, I want to say I mentioned it on the show. We had some people in our community who were having an issue with their tree. Like something on their tree was being like limbs torn off, and there were limbs that were kind of up high that a normal animal, even standing on their back legs, could not get to.
Right.
Okay? Well, they had someone to come out, some kind of biologist to come out and inspect, because there was some fur or hair left at the site. You know?
Yeah.
It was a bear. It was, and so that is in the Martin community years ago. That I found that out. So we do have bears, even around here. We have some. You know, even if you don't see them that often, they're out there. So.
I read, what was that? One of those Bigfoot things to where somebody swore it was Bigfoot,
yeah.
and they
I've
sent
heard
off
of that.
the hair samples, and it ended up being a wild boar or something. And
Well, my aunt called one time years ago. If Bailey Grace on here, if you're watching, she called me and she was like just terrified. She said, she said my feet are still like I'm just still shaking. And she was fixing to go across the water dam across the reservoir.
right.
And something come across the road, and she said, I swear it looked like a Bigfoot. So she said, I mean, it like stopped in the road and then just kind of like went on through real slow, and she had to stop her car to look. I mean, she was terrified about it. And then there was another incident where somebody spotted something behind their house in the woods that looked like the same thing. But then there are these people who will put these ghillie suits on,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and like try to scare people, you know.
In the state of Mississippi, you get
It's not
shot.
smart.
You
That's
get
right.
shot.
It's not smart, you know, because if you come across somebody's yard in a ghillie suit and you're looking like a Bigfoot, chances are in the South, you just might not make it across.
Of course, Kipper County, scuba has always been known for the scuba hairy man. Dr. Alan Brown will join us. We're going to interview him again because he's done extensive study on this. And did you know that there is on Facebook a Mississippi Bigfoot site?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull that up in a minute. But it's for people that believe. I joined it because I needed to read those stories because I got a giggle out of it, so to speak.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you, that would scare me to death if I saw something like that.
Bigfoot. There's a lot of unexplained things. The Wimberleys back in the day saw a bunch out of scuba. We'll have to get into that one day and talk to some of the relatives of all of that truly believe that there was.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be camping out anytime soon, seeing if I can spot one.
Let's take a minute and talk about our friends out at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Joe would love to see you today. There's lots going on. He's got some great specials. Sales prices will run through the end of the week. And, of course, great prices on corn. We've had blueberries on sale this week. And I'd show you pictures, but I got an issue that, well, it won't work for whatever reason at the moment. But Joe is always there for you. They've got a great plate lunch. If you're looking for a place to go get lunch, 3 vegetables and a meat, all for that for about, I think it's $3.99. It could be 2 vegetables and a meat, maybe 3, but it's a bargain.
Yes.
If you're looking for steak night, they've got all that, plus one of the greatest places you could shop. Very clean, Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Take a left at the 4-way stop there in Collinsville. You can't miss it.
That's right. They have a little bit of everything that you need.
Yeah, see them today. That's the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. See our friend Joe.
Attention servicemen and women that served from 2003 to 2015. If you experienced hearing loss while serving, you may be entitled to compensation. If you or someone you love showed signs of hearing loss or tinnitus from utilizing 3M earplugs, call now to discover if you qualify. We want to serve you as you have served our country. If you suffered hearing loss or tinnitus while active or upon departure, call attorney Richard Schwartz now. One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. I thought I would show this. I ran up on this morning. I was going through some things. Each town has one of these, no matter where you live. Remember when. Meridian is no different. And someone posted a picture of, where the Village Fair Mall used to be.
Yes.
Now is a pile of rubble after the bulldozers went through and cleaned it up. And they're going to be doing moving City Hall and everything there. But I'm not sure the year of when this was taken. But here's a quick look at that. That was a picture when there was a dirt track there.
I would have never known. I've never heard that.
I hadn't
in
either.
my life that there was a dirt track right there.
So that's right in there is where the old Village Fair Mall was, right there. So maybe y'all remember that. I truly do not.
I don't remember it either. I don't know. I guess it was before Why Not, maybe.
Yeah, back in the day. Rodney had to come out and have a talk with him about that.
I
Now,
know.
wouldn't he?
Yeah, he might have to have a little discussion.
Speaking of racing action, kicks back in this weekend at Why Not Motorsports Park. If you're in for a great dirt track race, they'd love to have you out. That's going to kick off Saturday night. Denise Covington is watching. She said the deli out at Piggly Wiggly is awesome. And it is. I agree with you. Also, Terry Carter is watching. Good morning to everyone.
Yes, good morning. Miss Judy Ann Cook, she says good morning. And she said she was one of those who was angry about losing the Perry Mason show because we did replace that time spot for the Perry Mason show on WMDN MeTV. She said, but now after watching and listening to the show, she's a fan.
Well,
so
thank you.
We welcome you and we're glad to have you. Thanks.
Armadillo had a question for you about, did you see that a minute ago about men and the haircuts that are trying to hide, well, I might be losing my hair? And he said, do you have any suggestions to make that better? The spray paint, does that work?
Just
on your head?
embrace it. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Just embrace it. You know, because I've had people too, like, come in and they'd have just a little patch of hair right here, and the rest of it was bald, and they kept combing it. And I'm just like, you know what?
The best cure for that is a cowboy hat. It cures it.
I'm just like, if you just got a little bit, just zip it off and embrace it. That's what I'm telling you to do.
Well, I might have a little bit more than that, and it happens. And you pretty much well know when
I'm talking
you're
about like a few strands.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know, but that is a security to some people. You know,
It is, like my son Dylan Ray, who has a birthday today. He's 27. He let me show you this. Where's that boy at? I had him up here somewhere. I don't think I can find it now. Maybe not, but he started getting that receding hairline, and I don't know whether it was from here. He is right here. I don't know whether it was from me or comes from your mama's side.
I've always heard that it comes from your mother's side of the family. You know, the genes.
But he showed back up and shaved his head. He embraced it big time.
See, to me, that is not. That's not what I'm talking about. Shave your head. But if you want to shave your head, shave your head. But I'm talking about, like, I've had people come in.
Oh, the
for a
comb over
haircut.
look.
Yeah, that have like a little patch like this big of hair, right here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's sitting out there like a little island, by itself.
An island. Islands in the stream.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I've always tried to be, positive.
Yeah.
And I don't tell
Like
anybody.
maybe it'll grow back.
No, I'm not that positive, But anyway, there comes to a point to where you just like, if it's a security thing, I'm not going to tell you to do whatever. But if it's just, what are you trying to do?
But in the South, typically an old boy would pick up a ball cap or the cowboy hat and go on about life. But there are those that I guess are in that business world that have to wear the suit and stuff. And a ball cap, I guess, just wouldn't work there.
Right. I mean, I know that has got to be a hard thing. I mean, it's not just men. There's women losing their hair too.
Yeah.
And so I know that it has got to be a very hard thing to deal with. So I jokingly say, just shave that, if it's a little bit, just shave it off. I think that would be easier for a man, obviously, to do than a woman.
I am definitely never going to have that surgery that they offer. Where they go to implant and stuff. Oh.
There's a lot of different ways that they do this, like hair replacement and stuff, and it's extensive, painfully,
It is.
But a lot of people go to that extent, and they get that done. So anyway, but I don't see anything wrong with being bald.
No, there's not. Let's say I can't even get that to work. I was gonna do that of.
We're having technical difficulties.
I do have a technical because I had some in my memory. Let me see here. I was trying to remember who Dean Martin had a birthday today. I was trying to remember who all. There was several famous folks who had birthdays today, but I'm blank, so I'll have to. Prince.
It's okay. Prince. Prince.
Were you a big fan?
I did listen to Prince all the time. The Purple Rain song, and I mean, I listened to him. That was just back in the day, what we listened to. We all listened to Michael Jackson and Prince. Of course, I've always listened to a little bit of everything, except for rap. I was not a fan of rap. I'm just going to tell you, that was not on my list of songs.
And I saw this, and I don't have it in front of me of everything that I had worked out, but there was a group, because I remember little girls going nuts over them. And I guess it was pop music, a group called Hanson.
Yeah.
They had girls were just, they were 12 or 13 years old. Girls
Weren't
went
they
nuts.
brothers or something? Yeah.
But
that was after, that was probably like with my girls.
1997 was the date.
Well, okay, my daughter was born in 96, so
But that was huge. I don't know how long they were
was.
around. And also, and I'm not sure, I'd have to go back now and really dig into this, but it was the farewell tour, the last concert that George Strait gave that was supposed to be the farewell tour. And I'm not so sure that he hadn't done concerts since then, but he did a 2-year goodbye. And 14 was the year of it. But I want to say, I read something a couple of weeks ago where George was getting ready to go do a show somewhere.
Don't you know when they say they're going to retire and then they don't you know they miss it though?
You'd have to.
I mean, I would think that they would get old being in the spotlight all the time. I mean, I would think that they would get sick of that. You know,
But you know, you go back and you remember the Johnny Cash thing where he'd come off the road and you get restless being.
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens.
right. But it's not like you retire and then everybody's just going to leave you alone.
No,
You know, or
no.
if you go out in public, nobody's going to come up to you. I mean, because that's always going to be, especially George Strait. I mean, if he walked by, wouldn't you ask for his autograph?
Who wouldn't?
Or just speak to him and go, oh, I'm such a fan.
But, you know, I always hear great stories about George. You know, he does that big roping event out in Texas at his ranch, and they say he is just super nice when he opens it up for everybody to come out for the rodeo.
I think that's a great thing when because you know so many times you hear of people and you're a fan of their music and then you find out that they're just rude and
Yeah.
you know that just is a disappointment. That's like a big
is.
disappointment, you know.
We may have a whole new topic, as Tiffany Allen pointed out. She thinks that men with slick bald heads are cute. She's implying she thinks it's sexy.
Yeah, I mean I don't see anything wrong with being bald.
Oh, wait a minute. Linda Culpepper said bald is beautiful also.
That's right.
So
So if you have just a little hair on your head, shave it off and embrace it. That's what I say.
it's a big decision for men.
Right. It is a big decision. It really is. But you know.
I brought this up earlier this morning at 6:30. There's always something. I don't care what you do, Jackson, Mississippi. You open up a headline, and if something bad has happened over there. And over the weekend, another woman was shot. She was on her porch and was shot and killed. I think she was 23 years old. Now, after you dig into the story, somebody was robbed at a tennis court, and it was retaliation, a drive-by for somebody stealing something. I don't know whether she just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, but Jackson, Mississippi is a mess. They need leadership in Jackson bad.
I read the other day on Facebook where just like it was down North Hill Street, somebody's daughter's car got hit by a flying bullet. That it was somebody shooting, you know.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
It was
Was that turned into the police or anything?
Yeah,
verified?
I think it was turned into some police, but I just read that. She said that her daughter was like terrified. She was just driving down the road and obviously must have been an altercation somehow going on. And yeah. So it's scary really anywhere. you
Yeah.
know.
As we look at other things, this would be horrible to die homeless, not have a penny, and I think some drug addiction was tied into this some kind of a way. But a woman, after she died, turns out she was worth about $900,000. Her mother had died and left her entire estate. She had left home. Attorneys tried for years to find her, never could, and she died in a shelter, broke with nothing in her pocket, and she had $900,000. Now the money is going to be given to the state.
You know, don't you know, I've said this a lot, you know, these people who are sitting out there, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter, you know,
Yeah.
they belong to families. And so you wonder at times, like, do they not have anybody to check on them? Or like in this case, could their family not find them?
Yeah.
You know?
I read a thing out of Chicago. This has been a few months back, of a lady, and the family knew where she was. She was homeless and would not go back with them. They'd go visit her and take her food and what they could underneath the bridge. And they met, apparently everybody in that little part of Chicago knew her. She froze to death, and they had a big ceremony for her. Apparently she was well liked.
Yeah.
But you never know what drives people to this type of
You
stuff.
don't. And, you know, some people are there by choice. You know, they choose to live that lifestyle. And then some people are there because they have no other option and they're trying. You know, there are some people out there who are actually trying,
Yeah.
you know, to do better. But I would imagine that is an overwhelming thing. You know, you just kind of feel like, where do I even start? Where do I begin? You know, we spoke with a young guy. He was like 18 years old, and he was sitting outside of a Walmart, and we went and sat and prayed with him and spoke to him because I just felt like an overwhelming feeling. You know, I have to know what his story is. And it turned out that he had left home because, you know, there was some things going on and that he couldn't stay there, he said. So, but he was trying to find a job, and I ended up checking afterwards, through word of mouth and checking on him. And I tried to actually go and physically check on him one time, but he wasn't in the store where he was supposed to be working. But he did have to get a job. So I was proud of that,
Popped in my head, is anybody going to San Antonio? If you remember about Charlie Pride, he said it sure is warmer here than sleeping in that bed at home.
Yeah.
Ran away from his wife.
Lord.
That's what that whole song was about. She was mean to him.
Yeah, you could have somebody out there that's run away from home, from their wives.
Good news here, and this is great for employees, and I hope other stores will follow this suit, because it did make me angry a few years, what was it, about 8, 9, 10 years ago, that this became a trend to where Thanksgiving was taken away from Americans. If you had a job, they forced you to go work, whether you wanted to or not, because they wanted money. They wanted more profit. Walmart was in the lead on this. And they have announced this week that they're going to be closing again for Thanksgiving Day. And that is good. And I hope all other major retailers will follow suit with this, because it's not fair to take that one time a year, well, maybe twice, Christmas and Thanksgiving, that you get to be with your family, and take that away from them.
Right.
It's not right.
So they're gonna open that evening there, right?
No, it's closed
Thursday
all day.
evening. Oh, okay. Okay.
It will be shut down.
Oh, okay. So I was just
That's
wondering.
good. Now,
Yeah.
will they have to get up really early for Good Friday to go in for all the sales? Sure.
For the Black Friday thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they had just gotten to where, it was all open on Thanksgiving Day and that afternoon, and you could not spend time with your family.
Yeah.
Wasn't right.
Well, I don't think it's right either. I think Christmas should be the same way.
So, as I said, we hope more people will follow this. This next story, I'm not going to show video from this because I want to be on the cautious side. Although everything is blurred, I don't want anything slipping through. That you can Google the story and find this. But this was, where was this at? Down in Florida. It always seems weird people do things in Florida. But a 53-year-old woman in an Outback steakhouse goes wild, gets naked, jumps up on the bar, starts tearing the restaurant apart, throwing all of the drinks and everything on the floor. Cops were called, and they arrested naked girl up in. How do you?
Well, something had to mentally be going on with her, or either she was impaired from drugs or alcohol. I mean, that's the only two options. I mean, because you just don't get naked up at the Outback.
Well, she did.
Unless you got some issues going on, I would not think.
Why? I don't get it. I mean, what makes you think, okay, let me throw a fit and I'll just go ahead and drop all my clothes and jump up on the bar? They had to tase her to get her down. She was that wild. So it leads you to believe, which I do not know, this is all opinion, that she may have been impaired by something else.
Something.
Yeah, we don't know what. We didn't get to see the blood sample out of it. But I'm telling
Good
you,
Lord.
that's a mess.
Well, I mean, it would be embarrassing enough that you call attention to yourself like that, then get undressed, then get tased while you are undressed. That would not be good.
You'll be a hit at the high school reunion.
Oh, gosh.
People
Where
never
do you go after that? Like, I mean, what do you do like the next week? What if that was somebody's, obviously it could be somebody's mother.
Yes.
I mean, that was my mom up at the Outback. That would be bad.
Yeah, you can't get away from that. It will follow you. So y'all keep that in mind.
Crazy
Good
people
news
everywhere.
as we go back to California.
Yeah.
As we go back to the California story that we talked about. This has been going on for a little over a week. The 6-year-old boy that was, and there's no other way to word this other than he was murdered.
Yes.
His mother's going down the interstate in California. Somebody cut her off. She flipped him off. She gave him the California howdy. They shot into the car. The bullet went through the trunk and struck the little 6-year-old boy, and he died. They have now made an arrest in this, a 24-year-old and a 23-year-old. They arrested them at their home. They finally tracked the car down. Enough people saw the video from that and identified them, and they have been arrested. Now, what happens to them? It was a $500,000 reward put out for them. I'm not sure if anybody gets the reward, but this does not need to happen. People with short tempers and then they kill need to learn that there's consequences for what you do.
Right.
And until they start making examples of people, these crimes will continue to get worse. So hopefully this is going to be a thing of we're not taking it anymore.
Well, and two, if you're the driver of a car and you make a gesture to another individual, you don't know like how they're going to respond to that.
Yeah.
So don't be.
You need to control yourself.
Even if You do. I mean, because even if you are aggravated, and especially if you've got kids in your car or other people in your car, don't even go there. Don't even do gestures or like blow the horn. Even, I mean, that can trigger somebody. You don't ever know, and definitely don't get out of your car and go knock on somebody's window or something like that.
Was it Washington D.C. where the guy jumped out of the Maserati and got in the middle of the street and just shot at the car in front of him because he was cut off?
Yes, we had a story. Yeah, that story the other day. Yeah.
This is just ongoing across the United States. Now, you don't really hear about that here. Every now and then somebody will yell at somebody in our little neck of the woods, but don't be surprised if it were to happen.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I never got aggravated, because I have gotten aggravated several times. People
Not
that
Candace.
people cut you off, or like just about hit you. We saw an incident yesterday where it was on the interstate where this car was coming off of the, coming up
On-ramp.
off the on-ramp, or you know what I'm talking about, onto the interstate. And there was another car that was coming, and they almost like hit each other. And one had to have been on a cell phone or not paying attention some kind of way, but they almost hit. And it was slick, rainy roads. And I just told Kurt, I was like, just stay back away from them, because I don't know.
Here's my question to everybody.
Scary.
Because we've all been in this. Say that you're going to a concert. Because I've been to, me and Dylan went years ago back to see Eric Clapton over in Pelham. And the traffic, you're trying to get to where that stadium is, and you're in line, and then the people on the left pass and go all the way up to the exit at the front of it, where you've been waiting for 30 minutes to get in, and then they try to cut in. Do you let them in or make them wait?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Because that's not fair.
It's not fair, but I mean, there's a lot of people who do stuff like that. It aggravates you, but just if you ever aggravated like that, though, don't blow the horn, don't make hand gestures.
It get ugly.
And well, we have a watcher who says, it says cough cough. He's a Twitch watcher.
Right.
They said hey, first of all, and then they said make them wait. You make them wait.
It is just downright rude to do that. Now, we don't, like you take Kemper County, where we no longer have, wait a minute, I think there's, there's no red lights left. But, say you're sitting there in the cab, that's not going to be a big issue. But the bigger cities you go to, the more problems it has.
Oh, yeah, it does. But I don't know, especially if you got your kids in the car, they don't take a chance on a crazy in another car shooting at you or something, like just getting aggravated at somebody. And
I had a chance Friday. I had to run up to Philadelphia Friday afternoon, and I want to hospitality. I want to say good morning to everybody in Philadelphia. Hospitality in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is just so unique. Thank y'all for this. And that, and I remember going along, and I got to House, Mississippi, and it had a sign up that says detour. Oh, do I need to turn and take the back way in? And I went on. And you can, once you get up to where Griffiths Motors is, take a right and go around where the new bridge is being installed by the hospital. So you can get through. It's just puts you behind a couple of minutes.
So I'm glad you told me that.
But you'll see that sign, you'll think, boy, do I need to do that and come in on Deemer Road. It takes you way out of the way to go that way, but you can get around it. But again, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody in Philadelphia. All the places I went to were so nice. And you just can't beat Southern hospitality like they have in Philadelphia.
Right. And you can tell when you go other places that maybe are not as friendly, you do miss that Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
But
let's see here. This is a story that this was put out last week, and I saved it because it caught my eye. You remember the 70-something-year-old lady that accidentally stole the stuff because she had dementia in Walmart and she was tased? Well, it happens again, and this time this comes from, let's see what, let me pull this up where we can do this, because I want you to see a picture of this guy. This is in Idaho. Somebody calls the police and reports that they see somebody with road rage. Well, they go to this gentleman's home, him and his son. He's 78 years old. He gets tased, shot to the ground with it. They threaten his wife. I think they arrested everybody.
Yeah.
The cop that done this has now been suspended while the investigation goes in.
Well, there were reports it was a road rage report, and there was reports that the other vehicle had a gun and all that in it too. So, but there was no proof, I don't think, that the man actually did anything.
And this is one of those things. A 78-year-old, do you really have to tase?
Well, do you have to throw him to the ground like that? I mean,
And I don't know this, but maybe other people know this, and I wish Chris was here to tell me this. If you shoot somebody with a taser and they have a heart condition, and the odds are somebody that's elderly could have a pacemaker, would that cause?
I mean, I could imagine it would, because I mean,
now,
there's a
will
lot of
we
things
ever?
that could affect that. And I would think that would be a jolt going through your body would be one of them. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever get to know the end of this story or not,
Right.
how it turns out, but we wish him well.
The man's wife was arrested, though, for interfering with the police officer.
And you can't blame her.
Yeah.
If you had a 78-year-old spouse and they just got tased, would you not go, hey?
Well, yeah, I would probably intervene.
I'm afraid you would.
Yeah.
But, I read the story, and it I don't know who's right or wrong, but
Right.
it implied that the elderly gentleman really wasn't at all that much fault. But I could have read it wrong.
We could be wrong.
Yeah.
There could be more to the story.
It could be. You
We're
don't
only
know till
getting
it's...
the small, details.
Now, a mother's love can sometimes get her in trouble, as we go to our next story here this morning. There's sometimes when your kid is wrong, he's wrong. And I think this is what's happened to society. So many parents still, when they know their child is wrong, they still take up for them. And the story that I'm referring to is, do you remember the little cheerleader that was 13 years old that was stabbed
114 times.
I mean, come on. The mother of that kid that did it has been arrested. Why? She was trying to cover it up. She tampered with evidence. This is the mother. She was washing his clothes that had all the blood after he'd killed the young woman.
Right.
And there was a video. This is how they caught her. A video surfaced online, and it showed her at the washing machine with it, and that's how they got her. And so now what happens to her with the accessory, I don't know how deep it will go, but she shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, she shouldn't have. That would be the hardest thing as a parent. A hard pill to swallow, that your child has done something like that. You know they've done it.
Right.
And you're upset and you're disappointed and you're all these things. But there is a point to where you got to have them.
You've got to do the right thing.
Yeah,
You got to
gotta
call
do
law.
the right thing. It would be the hardest thing in the world, I would imagine, as a parent. And I can only speak just a small amount to that, because I'm not in that position.
But,
and there's a lot of things until you're put in that position.
But
don't
then
know
you go
what
to that flip
do.
side. You think of that mother who
yeah.
lost her baby girl. It was you can't. And this is
my
where
goodness, yeah.
you read all these stories to where they're 45 still living in mama's basement, and they
Right.
start kidnapping people because mama took up for them.
Yeah.
Make your kids stand up for what they done wrong.
Yeah. To stab somebody at all
Is
something's
bad.
not right, but to stab them 114 times, that's way beyond like rage, and it's awful. It's awful.
Now, again, our next story that we go to, you're proven innocent in the United States until you go before a trial and you're proven guilty.
Right.
But we go to the shame, we all know your name game now. Who all let their kids watch Nickelodeon?
I did. My kids used to watch, my older kids, they used to watch the Drake and Josh show.
Yeah. And I was shocked when I saw the headline. I thought, but here it is. Now, again, it's accused. He's not been committed or charged. He's been charged. He's not been, whatchamacallit, proven guilty.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to word there.
It's alleged.
Yeah, alleged.
Yeah.
Here's the guy. Y'all remember him? He was I would call him the star of the show.
Right.
But he has been Drake and Josh. Here's a better picture of him here with Henry Winkler.
Well, Drake Bell is his name.
But he's been accused of.
Yeah, he was accused of interacting with a juvenile in a sexual, speaking about sexual things.
Right.
And so, it was an underage child. I guess it was through a computer maybe.
Yeah, it was.
And so, it's just this is another case. We hear this all the time. And of course, actors are not, any different from anybody else. And I think they should be charged the same.
Now, he's been released on a $2,500 bond.
Right.
He's out. His mugshot was smirk.
Oh, yeah. He had a little smirk on his face. I did not realize he was 34 years old. I guess that's how time flies. So,
I still think of that show being on, but apparently it's reruns.
But obviously, he must have been older on the show than what they portrayed him to be. So,
But he shows his age now at 34 years old.
But in any case, this is an awful thing. I think that he should be charged just like anybody else. If it was my child that he was interacting with and my child was underage, I would be doing everything I could to make sure that he was prosecuted.
Absolutely. So we hope justice is, if he's guilty of this, and we don't know, he's just been charged.
Right. And I'm sure if they have the evidence, it'll come out, you know.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Lost a battle in court. This is not huge, but the lady didn't like it. He slapped a lady on her rear end. He has been found guilty in court of doing this.
Did he have a cast on his hand when he came in?
Get that hand slap.
He should have.
But, you know, things like that
Yeah.
years ago would have never ended up in court. That was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
you know, you think of the many waitresses at truck stops through the years. It's had a pinch or Flo. We all
yeah.
remember Flo.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of stuff was overlooked back then, you know.
It was.
And I mean, if I'm not even going
Don't
there,
take
but
it
yeah,
over
right,
the line is what I
right.
think
Some
you wanna-
people just in this day and time know that, you know, they can really make a big blow up story about
Correct.
You know, sometimes it needs to be, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Lives can be ruined, but if somebody's
Right.
really guilty, Henry Weinstein, isn't that his name?
Epstein.
No,
Jeffrey
the other guy, the movie
Epstein.
maker.
Harry
Weinst-
Weinstein. Is it
Yeah.
Harry Weinstein? Henry,
Think so.
Harry? I don't know.
But
Y'all know what we're
He
talking about.
guilty, yeah. That old boy there.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby,
Yeah.
another
That
example.
really was a damper, you know,
Now,
to find that out. Because I always watched him and I thought he was so funny. And I always thought he was a clean, you know, comedian. And
Now, I want to say I read a story last week about Bill Cosby to where he was denied parole because he refused to get a COVID shot.
yeah.
They didn't even hear it because he wouldn't take the COVID shot. Interesting. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends. Well, Sanders Gas. If you need a tune-up on your air conditioner, you're sitting there and it's hot. Maybe it hadn't reached 90 yet, but it's coming. If something is not working properly, talk to them today at Sanders Gas. They'll come out $69.99 and give you a tune-up. And that includes cleaning all the coils here, getting it cooling right. Maybe it needs a little bit more Freon. They'll find the problem, get it fixed for you. Talk to them. They're on 22nd Avenue, right before you get to the police station on the right-hand side of the road. They'll treat you right. Should your unit break down, same-day service for emergencies. And we all know when it's hot in Mississippi and it quits, that qualifies as an emergency.
That's right. And we have hurricane season coming up. They have the Generac generators. Will operate your whole home.
Yep. Check them out. Again, that's Sanders Gas. They'll help you in any shape, form, or way they can.
Seasonal changes can have a big effect on your energy use. When outside temperatures soar either up or down, your heating and cooling system works overtime to maintain a comfortable temperature inside your home, regardless of whether you ever touch your thermostat settings. But there are easy, inexpensive ways you can stay in control of your energy use. Visit emepa.com for energy-saving tips today. East Mississippi Electric Power Association is your local Touchstone Energy cooperative.
My dad was a farmer. My granddaddy, too. I was always pretty proud of that. When my truck was hit by a company vehicle, I thought I was going to have to sell the farm. Thanks to Richard Swartz, I didn't have to.
I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
Okay, we go back to comments this morning, and Candace, take it away.
Well, we stand corrected because it wasn't Henry or Harry Weinstein. It's Harvey Weinstein. Thank you, Miss Judy Ann Cook.
Yeah.
Because we were wrong. And then also, let's see, somebody said it just started raining on Center Hill Road. I don't have my umbrella, so that's awful. Miss Jeannie Ezel McKay says, good morning from Bond, Mississippi. So glad you're watching this morning.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
We also have Elizabeth Trivett. She's watching from the Beehive Assisted Living in Marion, Mississippi. We're so glad you're watching.
Yeah, glad to have you all along. Here's one of those things. I think most of it, no, I was going to say only in the South. That is untrue. I was supposed to make an untrue statement. Pets are such a large portion of people's lives. They're almost like children. And
They are.
Mine are that way. I love them to death. They're always thankful. If you need a friend, something that makes you feel good every day, get yourself a puppy dog. Even a kitty cat will help you there.
Yeah, they'll give you that unconditional.
Yeah.
You know.
A heartwarming story as we go to this. A dog was lost and found 240 miles away in Florida from Georgia. Now, how that dog got there, I do not know. But as you look at this, the dog made it back and reunited. They found it there. That is wonderful.
That is.
And
Gosh, you don't hear of that a whole lot. Now, I hear of a lot of people who will stop at rest areas if they have their dog. And some of
Yeah.
them have wandered off or, you know, and then somebody comes along, picks them up, takes them somewhere else with them. So maybe that's what happened here. We don't know.
Yeah, but that
So
is
glad they're reunited. Yeah.
yeah, because you lose sleep, and you know there's a local lost and found pets in the neighborhood. If you ever lose yours on Facebook, to where you can post pictures of your animals and people if they see them, it's a handy thing to have. Bookmark that one and use that a lot.
Yeah, it is. You can learn a lot on these community watch pages.
Yeah, sure can. We go to the weird folks, and we got another one of those stories. Why is what I want to know.
Just meanness, as my grandmother would say.
Yeah.
It's just meanness going on.
It is. Why
It
would
is.
you light somebody's hair on fire?
Awful.
And this happened. This was on a bus, is what this is. And that picture is kind of blurry there, but the lady's sitting here, and this teenager comes up from behind her and takes a big lighter and lights her hair. And of course, hairspray makes things light up quick, doesn't it?
Yes, it would. And you got to wonder, like, is everybody just sitting around and watching the show? I mean, are you not doing anything to help the woman that's getting her
'cause
hair
there's
lit
more
on
people
fire?
on it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, why did somebody not step up and say or do something?
See, this is almost like an episode of Medea. I can see her getting up with her purse and whooping all of them.
Okay. Do you remember, if you watched the Medea, I think it's the first one, where the little girl's popping that gum in the back seat, and Medea turns around and she says, "Little girl, stop popping that gum."
I can see that.
And she turns around and finally just beats her down.
Tyler Perry, if you've never watched
That
any
would
of
be an
those,
episode right there.
Yeah, the Medea really had good morals.
Yeah.
If you've never watched it, of course, she had her issues.
Even though her former job
Yeah,
might not have been a good moral job.
her Cadillac.
Yeah.
But funny show, but it always did have even that where the witness protection program,
Right,
that
yeah.
was hilarious. So check that out.
Yeah, what I was saying is, like, if somebody lit my hair on fire, that might justify a little, like, beat
Country
down.
whooping.
Yeah.
They used to call that in the deep south a croaker sacking.
That's right.
It'd be a whooping coming.
Don't mess with my babies and don't mess with my hair.
We all got that from Elvis. Let's see here. Is there a sign that says Donald may run again? Well, this may be one of the biggest hints that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Donald is quoted as saying the next time he's in the White House,
Yeah.
Zuckerberg's not coming.
Yeah. And isn't it just convenient that there was a 2-year ban,
Yeah.
that goes through 2022 when, that's probably when whoever will be announcing they're running, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, they don't want him back.
right.
And of course, Trump in the last few days shut down that website. We have not heard any more from the desk of Donald Trump is gone.
Yeah.
We have not heard any more about that new social media site that he's going to be starting. It's kind of mum on the subject at the moment there.
Yeah. But like I've said a lot of times, I don't think it's going to matter about a ban from any
Oh, yeah.
area. People are so fed up with the way this country is being ran right now already that by 2022, they're going to be just like thirsting for somebody that's gonna be for this country and do nothing but change in a positive way
And
for this country.
Florida is, I hear that over and over. Ron DeSantis, his name is brought up daily. I think he's
Right.
going to be something somewhere.
And I think it would be a great thing.
Let's see here. The Wuhan thing. Now we find out there's more money that was given that we were not aware of. The Pentagon gave $39 million to a Dr. Peter Daszak. Is that how you say his name? The charity that funded the coronavirus research at the Wuhan lab. $39 million. Now, originally, we started out with, $600,000 that Fauci,
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. And now $39 million could be tied to it from the United States. Woo. We don't know everything yet, y'all.
It really makes me so, it just fires me up, makes me mad that for how long now, a year and a half, going on, a couple of years now, we have been listening to this man. He's been the voice of what everybody needs to do, and the whole time probably was involved in this mess.
And writing books and making money off of it.
Right. Yeah. He's fixing to put this book out,
And
profit that way. I mean, he and what's his name, Cuomo,
Right.
they need to get together.
And if y'all remember, when the flights were canceled from China coming to the United States, people were called racist because And that was the thing to do.
And
to stop.
xenophobic and
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. I mean, you know what? I'm so tired of like all these people that's trying to make everybody's rules for them and tell them what to do. And,
That's what they do.
You know, if you take their money and their microphones away and make them really do something to help this country, you know, I mean, that's the only way that you're going to get to them. You know, take away the money, take away the microphones where they can get up there and just talk and say a bunch of junk because that pretty much is what he's done. I mean, it's kind of like he's just been in the spotlight.
Oh, he
you know?
has.
He's just like really benefited and made himself, you know, well known.
His net value, is that it? Net worth?
Yeah.
We hadn't heard anywhere near the end of this stuff. Is there going to be an investigation? Probably. Will we really get a conclusive answer from it? I'm not so sure.
If there was anybody, I don't care who they are, I don't care what status they have, if they were involved in covering up anything that had to do with that coronavirus stuff or bringing it to this country or allowing it to be done in that lab, I mean, I think they should be prosecuted.
Absolutely.
So
we'll see what happens. As we turn our thoughts to, well, Snowden and Company, this is the only picture I can show you, well, because I've got issues with equipment this morning. But she will certainly take care of you when it comes to buying your home or if you're getting ready to sell. Now, right now, the demand is high. If you have a home that you're getting ready to sell, talk to Amanda. Let her tell you all about it, handle everything for you, get the paperwork ready, and get you the most money for your investment in your home that you had. If you're looking to upscale, down, it doesn't matter. They'll help you in any way they can. They specialize in homes in Clark, Kemper, Lauderdale County, Jasper, Newton counties, all these areas. Yeah.
that's right. And if you're looking to be in a specific school district, I always say this because I'm a mother and I have kids.
You get it.
And so, you know, there's a new school year coming up. If you're planning on building a home and you need land, they even, you know, they
That's
have
right.
land for sale in areas. But just get in touch with Amanda at Snowden and Company, and she can find you exactly what you're looking for.
453-3937 is a telephone number to call. They'll handle it all for you. And, well, it'll be an easy thing. Don't make it hard on yourself. Let the professionals handle it for you.
When a semi-truck hit me, I had to survive. I promised a little girl I was going to read her a story the next time I saw her. My son called Richard Schwartz. He helped me every step of the way and got me the money we deserve.
I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
In headlines, and, you know, you brought up being a mother. This is one of those things that would be horrifying. FisherPrice is making a recall, and this is called the Baby Glide Soothers. 4 infants have died with these. There's a.
Do we have a picture of it?
Let me see here. There it is, right there.
Okay, and I think this thing kind of rocks back and forth. Now, I don't know how it would.
They've recalled it there. They were manufactured between April of 2019 and February of 2020. That includes, let's see, the deaths of 4 from Missouri, Nevada, Colorado, and also a child from Michigan.
Okay, it says that the babies were found on their stomachs while using the product. So it obviously must not like hold them in tight enough to where they can't roll over and stuff. So
Right.
just be, if you have one of these products, just be aware of that.
It's a recall. I'm sure that they'll refund your money on that.
Something. Just be aware of that.
Let's see here. Some other things that are going on. That was the lawsuit. We've already talked about that. Let's see here. This is, if y'all remember, AOC Cortez. She got on, I believe it started out on Twitter, where she was asking for money to help her grandmother. And then the controversy came where everybody said, well, we'll sell that Tesla car that cost $70,000 that you got to help your grandma if she's poor and needs money. Well, here's the headline from this. A conservative commentator raised $104,000 for her grandmother. And that shows there's no party lines. He wanted to help somebody.
Right.
She refused the money. Now, you're not in that bad a shape if you won't take money from somebody.
I wonder why did she refuse the money?
That's a good
Was
question.
she worried that now, you know, because people maybe were commenting that she was going to get in trouble for taking the money.
Maybe so.
Which was kind of crazy. I mean, for you to even ask for money when you could have done like you said.
Yeah, it goes down to that. If you're going to beg for money and you have a means of helping somebody, do that first before you go to asking for,
Right.
my opinion.
Well, yeah. Well, it says it was rejected by someone in her family, not AOC rejected it. Someone in the family rejected. She's another one though, where I say take her microphone away and her money. If you're giving her money, take that away.
Ooh, let's see here. This one, This happened at a Walmart. Again, this is one of these fights to where they had a customer go nuts, and the Walmart employee takes one swing and knocks the guy out. He was going to hurt somebody else, and he maybe ought to take up boxing.
Well, he's ramming somebody, trying to ram the associate with
A buggy.
the buggy.
The guy just went wild, and so.
Goodness.
But with most cases, and I don't know this, but I've seen so many times in cases like this to where, you know, like if they even chase any of these department stores now, if they chase somebody that stole something in the parking lot or touch them, they can be fired. So I don't know what will happen to this employee.
They
although
just
he
had
did
to
a
fire
good thing.
me. I mean, if I knew I was doing the right thing,
Right.
I wouldn't want to work for a company that you know. Of course, I don't guess it's the company though. I shouldn't say that.
Well, they set company policies to where, you know, you can't follow somebody outside of a store, you can't tackle them if they stole something, and I've heard of managers being fired for chasing somebody down that done that.
Yeah, I miss the days where, you know, when you did something wrong, you were actually, you know, the people who actually went after you were justified. I mean, I miss those days, you know, where morals existed and were upheld. You know,
we're living in a time that it is not that way.
No, it is not.
And I say this very strongly: pray for our nation. I don't care who's running it, whether it's Republicans or Democrats. They all need prayers for guidance from the Lord above. And I hope each of us, each night when you do your prayers, you do that for our country, because it needs it now more than ever.
Because you got to stand up for what you believe. If you know, are a Christian and you have, you know, that Christian base that you're trying to instill in your kids, or, you know, you've got to stand your ground. You know, if you're doing the right thing and you know you're doing the right things, stand, you know, firm in that.
Yeah.
So
let's see here. I was looking for where was the other story here? Amazon. This kind of stuff we've seen where the ladies have been hit. I saw 3 stories this weekend where there was a lady buying gas at a gas station in California. A guy gets out of his car, walks up to her, and just is the word. Well, he knocked her out.
Right.
One punch. Now we've got Amazon delivery people hitting people. This lady, she's 21 years old. This is a 67-year-old woman, and she complained and wanted to know why her package took so long to get there. Well, the Amazon 21-year-old hits her, knocks her out, beats her. Just to see that.
good grief.
And she beat her down. 67 years old. Now, what will happen to somebody like this? This is, again, to where laws need to be set up where you cannot do this. That woman didn't touch her.
I mean, who knows what was said? You don't know.
We weren't there.
The exchange. It could have been something that really infuriated the Amazon lady, but still, if you're infuriated, you still don't lay your hands on somebody.
No.
You don't do that. Did you hear about the California thing where the gun was overturned?
Yeah, I think I've got, judge overturns after 32-year ban on assault rifles has been overturned, says it violates our Second Amendment. That's good news.
Well, yeah, it is good news. And it is a violation of the Second Amendment of the Constitution. It really is.
So, yeah, keep that in mind there. That's
if it happened in California, that says, speaks volumes.
Yeah, I bet that judge gets taken out.
Well, there's another instance where if you know you're doing the right thing, you need to stand up for it.
Right.
So.
And I haven't paid attention. The NRA moving now from New York to Texas, and they're being sued by everybody and their brother. They want the NRA to go away. They really do. Now, whether or not they're successful, I think they'll pull through in the end.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because they had so many donations that went down, that keeps that company going during the pandemic when people weren't working. And there's a lot of things. Maureen Fowle said no plastic bags in Walmart after July 1st, so take your own. I hadn't heard this.
I haven't heard that either, but it does not surprise me. I've paid extra for a bag at several different places now. I paid 11 cents for a bag at one store to put my supplies in.
Really?
I think that's crazy.
I did not know that.
Yeah. If they'll say, would you like a bag? Okay, it's 11 cents. I'm like, are you serious? 11 cents for a bag?
Why wouldn't you
are we going to be paying extra for straws at the...
It just seems like you would, if that is a cost, you would figure that into the cost of your product to where you're not slammed with that at the cash register.
Yeah.
That's odd.
It is.
Don't forget, as we mentioned, Vacation Bible School is starting this week at Northwest Baptist Church. And again, if you've got an event like that going on, send it to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we would love to hear it. And, not all of them are in the morning time. Some of them are in the evening, which is convenient for parents who work. So, just let us know, because we would love, as parents, I have a small one. I would love to know, about them.
Also, don't forget about the lunches that are being given out at Northeast Elementary, that Monday through Friday. If you know somebody 18 and under that needs a good meal that may not be getting that during these summer months,
right?
Pass word along to them, or have somebody where they can pick that up, because kids still need that nutrition. That's a very serious thing there.
And if there's any event, local or otherwise, that you want us to know about, just let us know so we can mention it. So we want to put the word out there for everybody.
We'd like to say thank you for dropping by. We do appreciate it. We'll see you in the morning.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by